everybody, thanks for clicking on this video and welcome to the beginning of my savings, budgeting, and YouTube journey. I am here to represent the hardworking, low-income single parents. On this channel, I experiment with different budgeting styles, savings goals, and I share the strategies I learn as I go. So if that sounds interesting at all to you, please go ahead and click the like button and subscribe to follow my journey. All right, everybody, welcome back or welcome new members. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, like I said already. I wanted to come back and give you guys an update. I always do a midweek check-in, but this one's a little different since I am experimenting with cashless budgeting / digital budgeting. I don't really know what to call it, but basically what I usually do, I am a cash envelope stuffer. I take the money out of the bank that I'm going to use throughout the week and I use cash. This week, what I am experimenting with is using only my debit card. I have cash on hand just for things that I can only use cash for. So I have $30 in cash, but the rest is all on my debit card. So I did that this past week. So what I'm going to do today is just go over what I spent, what's left, how it's going, and what I recommended. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first I'm going to show you what I have left here in my wallet. So first of all, this is wrong. So that messed me up a little bit. I kind of got confused about what was left and how much was buffer. So I kind of got mixed up with how much money I had left. So it was fine the first day, and then after that, once I started spending some money, it got a little bit more complicated. So some of these are not completely correct. What I ended up doing is tracking it in multiple places, which is already not a good thing. So I had some scribble here, and I had some scribble here, and I had it one other place. But what I ended up doing is just before this video, I took a look to see what's left in the bank so that I can sort out what I have not spent yet, what's left, what categories still have money left. Would have been a lot easier if I had done it in categories. And then out of my miscellaneous, this is the only cash category that I had. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I ended up using some of this for the event that I went to, for a raffle for the clam bake that I went to, and I did win. I won a kids kit, like kids toys. There was like Operation and stuff like that, but still stuff that we could do. I think there was like some arts and crafts things, so still stuff we could do together. We like arts and crafts, so that's something we'll do together. Oh, but another thing I want to show you is that I like that this has 2 slots. I really like this wallet, but I like that it has 2 slots because I'm using this highlighter to highlight my balance, and I'm using this one, of course, just to write it down. But I like having a pen so that way maybe I will keep using the same one and not have all these colors like I do everywhere else. All right, so let me show you what I have left. So in the main account, I checked it. Like I said, I checked my account before I got started. The main account has $150.04 left. $75 of that is buffer. I'm really being careful about leaving that buffer there. I'm trying not to touch it. Of course, it's there in case of an emergency or in case I need to or whatever. It's there if I need it. But I'm trying to leave it alone. And so the only categories that are left that still have money are entertainment. Still has $45. We haven't spent anything out of entertainment. Probably will spend that this weekend. And $30 is left in personal. I do have an event to go to with my coworkers on Friday evening. So some of that will probably get spent. I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to also be careful about bringing my lunch every day to work. And I have left some things at work that I can keep there. Like there's some soup, some oatmeal, Pop-Tarts, small things. I think there's also a frozen dinner in the fridge at work for myself. So small things that I can just keep there. I don't have to remember going back and forth because you know how my memory is. Okay, and the bill account, which is the account that I use for bills, the main account is just for everyday expenses. In the bill account, there's still a $75 buffer. And then I have $430, which is the money that goes towards my mortgage. That's just half of it. So the next paycheck will pay the other half. And then there's $10.67 remaining. So that $10 extra that's remaining is from allowance. So she only got half of her allowance this time. It's the first time it's happened in a long time, but necessary evil. So moving along. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here so that I can ignore this balance, and this is the correct balance. All right, so let's go over a few things. There are pluses and minuses for doing the digital method. I will say that I prefer the cash method. I have already learned that. It's only been a weekend to the experiment, but I already know that I like cash better, because mainly the pending transactions in the bank account kind of mess me up, and then having to keep track of the different categories. When you're using cash, or when I've been using cash, I'm writing on that envelope right after I take that money out. So I already know, and they're already separated in separate envelopes, so I'm not really tempted to borrow from other ones. Whereas when it's digital, it's all one big lump sum. So it's easy to go over. I believe I went over in groceries. See, I don't really even know, because some of the things that I got at the grocery store were for personal and home as well. So I think that kind of got a little confusing. Also, the pending transactions, you can't really write it down on a tracker until it actually comes out, but you still have to be mindful of it because it is going to come off of your balance. So that was a little confusing for me. Also, at the event, they were only taking cash, so I'm glad that I had that miscellaneous folder, because that would have been not good at all. And the vending machine at work, if you pay with a debit card or credit card, you're paying a lot more than you would with just cash. So that was a downfall. First of all, I need to stop using that vending machine because I'm definitely overusing it. Also, just some places like small mom and pop shops, they are charging you extra when you're using a debit card. So that's another negative to it. If I decided to keep doing this, I would need to be extra careful about my trackers. I did not do it after every transaction. Some things were pending, so it was hard to look back at the bank account. I don't know. It just didn't work well for me so far. I do have $150 left in the spending account, which is for the variable expenses. You saw that I have 30 in personal, and I have the 45. I have the 30 in personal, and I have the 45 in entertainment. Why am I pointing over there? So if you're very careful about tracking, I think you'll be fine. I think if I was not tracking, I would have spent all willy-nilly. So I honestly, as a final review, I don't think it matters whether you use cash or cashless. I think what matters is your own discipline and your willpower. Like, how much do you want this? How much are you paying attention? Are you looking at what you're spending? Are you thinking about what you're spending before you spend it? So I think that's what matters. But had I not started with cash, I don't think I would have been able to do this at all. I definitely think I would have gone overboard. So I think it's still important to learn the budgeting cash system, because it kind of sets you up for any other system that you want to try going forward. It gives you time to just sit back and look back and think about why you're spending what you're spending, and you're better able to create a budget for what things you're really spending on. Because you don't want to say, oh, I'm just spending $200 on groceries. Let's just guess and make that the budget. So you might actually be spending $250, and then your budget is messed up because you have to take from somewhere else. So it's good to see what I'm spending in which categories. That's the major plus of both cashless and the digital. If I was to keep doing it, I would be more careful about writing it down, and I would still use these sheets. But I am very glad. I would still recommend that you, if you do want to do just digital budgeting, or digital spending, whatever you want to call it, cashless, I would recommend still having at least one envelope that has some cash in it for like emergencies. There's some places that are either only taking cash or they're charging a lot more to use a card. So overall, did I like it? I didn't like or dislike it. I just found it a lot different from the cash stuffing. But I will not be doing this again. It has solidified that I really like cash budgeting, but that it also doesn't matter. Like I said, as long as you're determined and you're conscious of your spending, it doesn't matter. I think tracking is what's the most important, is tracking how much you have left and what you're spending it on. Like I said, would I recommend it? I think it depends on your lifestyle. Like, is it hard for you to get to the bank? Do you have no time? Do you have little ones? Do you have like theft concerns in your home? Are you going to be careful with tracking? Those kinds of things. If that describes you, maybe digital budgeting, digital or cashless stuffing. Oh my God, I'm gonna get it right at some point. Maybe that'll be better for you. I can see how it could be more convenient for many people, but for my brain, the way it works, I think it's too easy for me to do the math wrong and overspend or forget that I paid a bill if it doesn't show up as pending, because some don't show up as pending until they take the money out. So if you're not very careful about what you're tracking, you can easily get off course. But at the end of the day, I am very glad that I did this experiment because, like I said, it solidified that I really like cash stuffing, and it also solidified the importance of tracking and being conscious of spending. I still have some money left, but I had money left last time when I did cash too. It doesn't matter. I would recommend trying both and do whatever works for you. I think I already know, I've been doing this long enough to know that cash is better for me. It's just too easy to get confused. Bottom line. That is it for me today. Please let me know if you have any questions, any comments, leave them in the box down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to continue following my journey. All right, thanks everybody for watching. Have a good evening. Happy saving. Bye.